A lot of times people will come into my office and say, Jeremiah, what's my case worth? They were just in a crash. We don't know the extent of their medical, any of their injuries. They haven't had any, real testing done. They haven't had MRIs. They haven't gone to an orthopedic. They haven't gone to anybody, but they want to know what their case is worth. And I always tell them the only one who knows what your case is worth right now is God. Other than that, nobody knows the extent of your injuries. We don't know, what you're going to need in your future. You don't have all the doctor's opinions yet. But we do know that you're in pain. That's the one thing we do know. And so, the thing about these cases is the way we value them is dependent upon, how your body responds to treatment, how much you get better, what the MRIs show, how you respond. Do you need a surgery? Do you need injections? Even if you didn't need a surgery, even if you didn't need injections, and you have a herniated disc in your spine and you have chiropractic treatment, which is very conservative care, that doesn't mean your case isn't worth a lot of money. Okay. We can go to trial with a case where, you have chiropractic care and you have an MRI and we get, some positive findings in your MRI. The insurance company is going to say, well, that case is worth a few $1,000s to a jury. Our position is going to be, it's worth a lot more than that because it's something that you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life. And so, you can ask for millions of dollars for that kind of case and do it with a straight face because it has impacted your life. It can impact your life for the rest of your life. I've got a case right now. My client's 16 years old and has a bulge in his neck, and they are trying to say, that's a pre-existing condition. And a lot of radiologists say bulges are pre-existing conditions, but he's 16. He's never had a problem in his life. And he was in a major crash. And so the at-fault party paid $25,000 because that was their policy limits. Okay, there was no more money other than that. And now we're pursuing our client's own uninsured motorist coverage. And they're offering like $3,000. And it's a case where, and I spoke to the insurance company and the adjuster. Oftentimes these are low-level people in the company. They don't have much wiggle room. But he's like, well, I don't see where the value of this is. I said, well, he's 16 years old. He's never had a problem in his life. It's been 10 months. He's still in pain and going for treatment. If you don't see the value in that, and the doctor said it was a permanent injury, if you don't see the value in that in someone who's got another 70 years of life expectancy that he's going to have to deal with this, and you think that's worth $3,000, then, we're going to have to go to court and we're going to have an argument about the value of this case. Because to me, and I'm a father, I've got a 16-year-old daughter. If you say, well, here's $300,000 for a permanent injury to your daughter's spine, of course I'd say no. That is, first of all, that's invaluable. But if you have to put a value on it, which is our job as lawyers is to put a value on it, to me, that's worth 7 figures. Because the way you have to look at these things is it has to be a reasonable dollar value exchange for that which was taken from you. So if somebody comes to you and they say, you know what, you're going to have herniated discs. It's going to bother you the rest of your life. You're going to have care the rest of your life. It'll flare up at times and you'll be bedridden. But here's $5,000 as an exchange for that. That's not a fair dollar exchange value for what's been taken from you, which is a healthy spine. And so, the exchange, that fair dollar exchange, it has to be commensurate with what's been taken from you. And so in the example of my client, the 16-year-old is $25,000 plus $3,000 to $28,000. Is that worth, 70 years of this kid's life expectancy and the pain and suffering he's going to have to deal with? No. And so these are the things that we deal with insurance companies. And now we're in a position where we have to file a lawsuit. The last thing I want to do is drag my 16-year-old client into a lawsuit. And I have a long conversation with the parents about that because it's not something I take lightly. I never take it lightly, but especially when you're dealing with a minor and having what they're going to have to go through, the way the insurance companies are going to take his deposition and challenge him and make him feel bad when he was just an innocent, you know, passenger in a vehicle with his buddies. So but in that case, I'm not going to allow them to take advantage of my client and this poor kid. Um, he used to love playing soccer, and now he doesn't play it anymore because he's in pain when he does it. That's not normal for a 16-year-old. That's been taken from him. And I take offense when the insurance company offers ridiculously low offers like that. It offends me. And I should know better, having been in this business for long enough that I shouldn't get offended anymore. But, when you care about people, you do get offended because you feel like you know, they're just being cheap and trying to, keep a profit in their pocket rather than, treat a human being the right way, especially a 16-year-old kid. And so, if this goes to trial, I'll be asking for well over $1 million. And, maybe the jury agrees with me, maybe they don't. But that's how I view it. And that's how, my client and his parents, that's how they view it. Because they value him. They value his life, his quality of life. And these injuries don't get better with time. They get worse. So how is it going to be when he's 30? How is it going to be when he's 40? And so when we go in front of a jury, we have to talk about those things. It's not just today as he sits here, he's a sophomore in high school. What's it going to look like when he's in his 40s? And yet the insurance company says it's $3,000. And so, that's the kind of things we deal with.